Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm Prem Asare from Dented Code. Welcome back to my create CRM ticket system from scratch using Monstack series. I'm super excited about the today's video guys because we are going to start writing actual React code from today. In the previous video, we broke down our whole project into a smaller task and managing it with the tree. Today we are going to create a GitHub repo and we are going to set up the React project and we are going to build up login form and the reset password form. So let's get into it. Okay guys, this is the tree lover what we created in last tutorial. So you can see our task list on our backlog list and we put all the front-end UI page designing on the to-do list, and I put 3 task lists on doing last time, and I also marked the due date of it. So that was like today. So I just quickly wanted to show you that what happens when you put the due date here. The Trello will send you the reminder. I want to show you that email. So this is how they send you email due soon. So due is on 11/18. So that's the time when I set due date on my task here. So now what I can do, I can click on it there, and then when I'm done it, I will mark it as done. So anyway, so we have to create GitHub repo. Let's do that one. So I have already logged into my GitHub repo. If you guys don't have repo, go and create the GitHub account. It's pretty easy, and then log into your GitHub account. So once you are logged in, go to this plus sign and click on to new repository. And here give a name. I'm just going to give a CRM frontend. That's it. And then I'm not going to do anything. Leave the public repo as a public. And I'm not going to do anything. Just click on create repo. Okay, the repo has been created. You can see here. And this is your URL for your repo. And this is the instruction how you can pull and push the code to the repo. So what I'm going to do, just for reference, I'm going to copy it, and then I'll go Trello. See here, they create GitHub repo. On the description, I'll just keep this one just for reference, and then save it. And then this one due date done. That means it's completed, no more due. And once done that, I'll just drag to done part so that one task is done. That was the easiest one. Okay, yeah. Now we are going to set up the React application and push the code to Git repo. And today we are going to create a login form and then a reset password, like a forgot password reset form. Okay, let's work on login page UI form now. So what I'm gonna do, I'll open a folder. What I'm gonna do is that I have CRM ticket system folder created. So I'll open this one with bash. And inside here, do you remember if you remember when we created our repo here, I copied the URL for the repo. So this is the empty repository. There is nothing in this repo, okay? But I'm gonna pull this project. So when I pull the project, we don't have to do any of this thing. It will be it's configured. So I'm gonna show you how. Git bash here. So what you have to do is simply git clone and the path to your repository. So remember the one we just copied, and then just hit enter here, and it will clone the repo. So it's saying that if you appear to have cloned an empty repository, that's fine. So let me close this one, and let's go to the folder. So go inside the folder and you can see CRM frontend. So open that folder. Here you can see .git file. So that means all the configuration to your Git is here. So I'm going to open this folder into the VS Code. So I'm going to use VS Code to write the code. I mean, as a code editor. So this is what the VS Code opens up the project here. There is no file here. So let's open the terminal, and here you can check your git remote. See, this one is the URL for your git repo that you just created. So that means you don't have to configure anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create the React app. So we're going to use npx to create the React app so that you don't have to install any React CLI. So do npx create React app, and I'm gonna put period sign there. That means the name of the project will be CRM frontend according to the current folder name. So hit enter. So it's gonna take a little bit of time. We just wait and see. Okay, maybe when the installation is completed, I'll come back to you. Okay guys, the download is completed here. You can see happy hacking. Right, npm start to start. So let's see. The create React app bootstraps everything you need to run the application straight away. So if you just type npm start, anyway, I'm going to use npm instead of Ian. Don't ask me why. Okay, it's gonna run the application, and the application will be open in the browser. So in my case, I'm using Chrome browser. So there you go, in our localhost 300 port. Yeah, I'll just put on the side. Maybe I'll put side by side so that we can see easily. Okay, here's the application. So comes with the React app, create React app. So what we're going to do now is we clean up this app and we just keep a bare minimum structure for us to build the application from scratch. Not from scratch in terms of configuration, but yes, from scratch in terms of building the application. So let's go to our application. So I'll leave this open, and here let's clean up. So first thing, all of our source file is in src folder. So what happens every time you run the application runs through the index.js file, and from here we don't need service worker. I'm going to remove that and this. So every time the application running, this file gets run first, and it will call the app file, which is in the same root folder, same folder with the app.js file. So which is app.js here. So we will make this as an entry file for us. Okay, so here, so everything you see in this page is coming from this page. So let's clean up. So we don't need anything inside this div folder. Let's clean everything out and just say hello and save this one. We don't need logo. Remove the logo and probably delete the logo from here as well. Yes. Okay, and save the file, and let's see. See, our hello is here. It's in the center because if you go to app.css, it's saying align center. So we don't need any of this, anything. No, I'm gonna select all and delete it, save the file, just the empty one. I'm gonna keep the CSS file, but let's see if we might need to use it. But for now, just leave it. Now the text has come into the left top corner, starting point. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is that let's install the React Bootstrap. We're going to use React Bootstrap. Even though we're using React Bootstrap, we're going to still write some of our custom CSS. Okay, so install the React Bootstrap. We need to install React Bootstrap and Bootstrap. So let's copy this command npm install, and let's run in our VS Code. So we need to stop the application from running. So just press Ctrl+C to stop it, and then paste this command and hit enter, and it will install the React Bootstrap and Bootstrap. So all the package you install if you are not sure what package has been installed, you can always go to your package.json file and check here what are the dependencies you have installed. So far React DOM, and then React script. Soon you will see React Bootstrap and Bootstrap here. Okay, let's wait while it's installing. Okay, while it's installing, I want to show you what you need to do in order to be able to use the React Bootstrap. So once we install this, once we installed it, we need to import the minified version of file from this. So we will use this import file in our index.js here. Okay, the installation is completed here. I mean the Bootstrap. We can confirm that by going in our package.json file. So you can see React Bootstrap here and Bootstrap here. Okay, let's close that, and let's import in our index.js. So just under the import section, I'm gonna just import this file. Okay, this is done. Let's again run npm start to start the application. So it will open new window again. So this, let's close that. It will open another one. Okay, now just to make sure it's working, let's do test here. Let's import a button. So the way you import component from React Stripe is that simply you do import React Bootstrap and then give the component you want to import. So in my case for now, I'm gonna do button, and just be careful, it always start with the capital letter. Okay, so now simply do the button, and you should be able to see the button here, bootstrapped button. A little slow compiling, but let's wait. Come on, why are you taking so long? Okay, since there is no text, let's write the text as well. Okay, see, you can see the hover effect on the button as well. So this means the React Bootstrap is installed properly. Now we can start building up our login form. So let's move this, remove this one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create two folders first. So inside the folder, okay, guys, there are many ways you can organize your folder in React. There is no particular better way. So over the time when you learn React, you will find your way of reacting. But my way of organizing file and folder is that normally I create a page folder for all the view page and component folder for the components. So you will see what I mean here. So what I'm gonna do is like create a folder called pages or page, and here I'm gonna create another folder. So inside the page, for every page, I would like to create a folder, and inside the folder, give the file name. So for the login page, since that's the entry page, I'm going to name it entry. So I'm going to create another folder called entry, and inside the entry, I'm going to create a file called entry.page.js. So here, I'm going to use the extension to complete the code snippet. So React arrow functional component will create the arrow function for React component. Okay, here I'm just gonna say entry page and save it, and let's bring this page inside our app.js. So first we need to import that file. So with the extension help, what I can do, simply I can type entry and it will give me option here. If I select it, it will automatically import the file here. If it does not, then in your case, first to import entry from, go to the folder and get this file. So you do not need .js here, just the file name. And when I save this file, I don't need button. So let's see our entry page. See here, you can see this one coming from here, entry page. So that means it's working. Let's start. Okay, here what I want in entry page. Okay, let's leave the app.js. Let's go to entry page for now. So in entry page, close this, close that, leave that. Okay, I want to give a like a blue color background. So let's give class name. So if you have been writing HTML and CSS, you have written class for the class name, but in the case of React, you need to write down class name and equals to give the name. So I want to make it entry page, and I also want to use Bootstrap utility class called BG for background, for info for the kind of blue color. So if I save it, you will see here, see this background color. So I want to make this one is in full page. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a CSS file inside this entry folder. So this CSS file, I'm going to say entry.style.css. So this is how I like to organize the file, guys. This is my way, so you don't have to follow if you don't like it, but this is more easy for you to understand, especially when you source file using Command and P. It's much easier, like entry, you know which file you are looking for. So you'll come to know when you have so many files later on. Okay, so here what I want to do is that, what's the file name again? Sorry, the entry page is a class name. So give the entry page class name. First thing, I want to give the height. I want to give 100 viewport height and save the file, so that and then of course we need to import this CSS file inside the component file. So the way you do is simply write import and give the file name here. So it's a relative path. Go to the current folder and entry.css. So in the case of CSS, you have to give the .css extension. So now you can see the page is full blue background. Now, okay, so I want the form in the center. So let's make that text goes in the center, so that whenever we create form, it will come in the center. So to do that, since we are here, let's put every content in the center. So to do that, let's use the flexbox property called display flex justify content center, and the align item center, so it will make perfect center. You can see it's in the center of the page. So okay, let's leave that for now. And in entry page, I just want to quickly show you how you use the components from React Bootstrap. So let's see, I want to use Jumbotron for the form box. So simply you like import the Jumbotron and then open and close the Jumbotron. Okay, so here let's go to use this Jumbotron. Okay, if you see me importing any component that you don't know, and if you want to know about more, you can always come to the React Bootstrap website and check it. So for now, let's import the Jumbotron. I'm going to go up here and then say import from React Strap, and I want to import Jumbotron, and inside here just say Jumbotron and close it and say here Zebriz. Let's keep our application open, and here I want to give the class name to this. See, now you can see the what you call the different color already here. So okay, inside here so our form will be inside here. So what I want to do, actually now I want to create a form, login form as a component now. So when we'll open up create a component for the login form, we can separate the code from this file. So here in the page again, sorry, src folder, I want to create another folder called components. Inside component, I'll create another folder called login, and inside login folder I'll say login.com for short form of component, and .js pages. I'm gonna rename that page to pages. I don't like that since we're gonna have multiple pages. Okay, it won't allow me to change the file. Let's stop the application now. Okay, now I will allow. Let me run again npm start, so it will run the new window application. Okay, so what we have here is that components and pages for the pages that we need to access. We have multiple pages, if you remember our prototype, and component are the small pieces that we're going to bring into our page and make it work. So now it's complaining that the component model not found because we have changed our path from page to pages, so it should work. Okay, now back to normal. So in our login.component, let's create a React component again, React arrow function component, and I'll give the name to login, and here I'm going to have a login form. Let's see how we can use more component from React Bootstrap. So import React Bootstrap. I'm going to use few of them from here. I want to use container row call, container row call, and I'm going to use form. We're going to need to use form, and let's keep this one to container, and we need row, and we need call. So inside the container we have one row with one column. So basically it's saying that it's like kind of section. So here I'm gonna actually now give a h1 heading, h1 in here I'm gonna say line plugin, and under there I'm gonna give a line, and under there I'm gonna have a form. Okay, so let me make this smaller. And let me create the form first, and then we'll see. Okay, so this if you see any component I'm using here, so these are all coming from the React Bootstrap library. Okay, so now what we do is let's create the form, actually, like input field. So what I'm going to do is create the form group first from the form group, and inside form group we need the label and the input field. So form.label, inside I'll say email address. I'll just copy this one and I'll just change that label to control, and inside basically I didn't need the closing because we can have self-closing tag this one form control, but we need some attributes to it. So what we need is we need to define the type. Type is email because it's email, and I need name for the input. I'll put email, and email, and the placeholder I'll say intro email. Okay, and let's make it required as well. That means customer must provide the email address before they submit the form. So form group, why is saying close? Okay, where is this coming from? I don't even know. Cool. Form group, the form, I need to close the form. I think I just messed it up. Let's remove that. Okay, save it. Now you'll see something happening here. Only if I import this login file. Now so we just created this. Okay, we still need the button yet, not yet. Hang on. So this is only for label intro email address input. So let's copy this form group for the password as well. So I'm gonna say password here, and then type password, and the name will be password too, and then enter. I don't want to enter, just say password is required too, and then from after that we need the button to submit, right? So let's create button, and type we need submit. Oops. And close it and say login. Okay, we need to import the button because we have not imported the button here. That's why it's showing in red. So okay, let's see how's our form coming up. So we need to import this login. Actually, you know what? I want to say login form. Copy, save this file, and let's import this login form in our entry page. So entry page, let's log into the import. Actually, import from, let's go to the login page. So go up and go to components, go to login. Oops, go to login, logins, and go to the login.component. So, and that's the component, and let's bring this one here and save the file. We should be able to load the form here. Okay, let's too big, let's reset to normal. This now just nice looking form without any effort because of the React Bootstrap. So let's change a little bit color here and there. So what I want to do here is in our login form component, so let's give some utility class to change the color. I want to change the color to same color as background. So that's text -info, and I want text center if it is not in center. Okay, yeah. And the email address password, that's okay. Under the button login form, okay, under here I want to create another row. So if before that I want to just provide the horizontal line, and I want to create another row. And here I'm gonna say not going anywhere, but I said forgot password. So it will appear somewhere at the bottom. Oops, what did I do wrong here? Hang on. Not small letter, guys, capital C. Okay, forgot password. Right, when I make it this one, okay, this is our client login form. It's pretty much ready, but let's give it a little bit shadow so that it looks like floating, looks a bit more like a nicer. So what I want to do to make this shadow look nice, I want to, this is the form box, right? So let's go to the entry page again, and let's give this one a class name. Class name, I want to give form box and use this class in our entry.style and give some, let's give some box shadow. 0 pixel, 0 pixel. I'm gonna give 15 and maybe -5, and I want the black. If I save it, I can see the little bit shadow at the back, which gives little nice dots there. Okay, that is pretty much with the login form. Doesn't do anything. Now what we're going to do is what I want to do. Okay, let's get the input. Let's create the state and get the input from the form here. Okay, let's go to the form. Let's go to the login form. So we don't need entry for now. I'm gonna close the app file. So login. Okay. Here what I want to do now is create the state, local state, so that we can hold the value, and when we click submit later in the future, we can submit to some sort of API. So to do that, I need to use use state. So what I'm gonna do here is that first I need to import use state from React. So with that, we can now use state. So now we can create some variables in our state. So what I'm gonna do here is that to use this use state, okay, I'm gonna use extension to complete for me. So basically you define as a array. So this is the variable and this is the function to save the to update the variable. And use state, of course, you need to refer to. Oops, this is not the square bracket, guys. This is curly bracket. Okay. And an initial state you can give if you want to. If you have nothing, you can just leave it empty or empty string. So now what I need is the email. I'm gonna make an email and I'm gonna say set email. Again, these are just the name. You can write anything you like. This is the variable, this is the function to update this variable. So I'll leave empty, and then I'll use password as well. Password and set password, and this is empty. Leave it empty. And now let's save it for now. Saying forgot to delete that. Okay, so what I want to do here is I'm going to create a function inside here called handle. Every time we change this input, I want to capture that input value and keep as inside in our state here. So let's do const handle on change, and let's get the event. And from event, normally we can destruct the name and value from event.target. Target. And I just want to show you what does that means by doing console.log name and value. So now this function, let's pass to this login form. So we can pass function to login form as a props. So let's give a name of the props is same as the function. And now this is the props goes as a variable to login form. So inside the login form here, we can destruct the props and receive the parameter pass. So we can just write here straight away like this. And on change, let's pass to our input field. What is that? This is our input field. So every time on change, let's call this function. So what is happening here is, guys, the on change method comes with the input field, and every time some text changes here, we invoke this function, which function is sent by the entry page here. And what this function doing is, every time we changing the event here, like every time you press, that's an event, it will receive the event, and from event we accessing something called target, which holds the value of name and value. So the name is the name we have given here, and the value is the value what we are going to type here. So that way we can receive the value which is changing here. So let's save that, and we need to give the value back to the input field so that we can see here as well. So let's pass name and email as well. So name is not name, sorry, email and password. Email equals to email is a variable, remember here, and password equals to password list. Or you can even do pass equals to password, and now we can again receive this email and password here as a props, but we're going to destructure here so we can access directly. So email and pass. Now let's pass the email and password as a value so that it populates here. So value equals to email, and in the case of password, value equals to pass. That's what it is coming, right? Let's open the inspect element as well. Sometimes there are errors, we can see it and fix it. As I said before, props type, you provided value props to the field without an on-change handler. Okay, so it's saying on-change value is not handler is not provided in the password field. So this should fix it. So sometimes, guys, when we provide the props down to the component, we are not sure like what we receiving, because sometimes we can make mistakes. So just to protect ourselves, I like to use props types to check the static type. So that's an extension. I'll quickly show you which one is it. npm.js prop types. I think this one. It has almost 9 million download weekly. So this is the one I want to use to check every time we pass the props, make sure we are passing correct data type. So just to use that, we need to install it. Just install the props type. So go to our editor, and we need to stop the application from running and just do npm i props type, and it will install the props type for us. It will take a couple seconds. Once it's done, I'll get back now. Okay, the props type has been installed. Let's do npm start again. So it will open a new file again to our application. So let's see how you can use it. I'm going to quickly show you here. First, you need to import the file, and then okay, we have to use it here. Okay, I'll show you. Let's close that. Let's close that. It will open new application here. Okay, so let's use it. So on our login form, so first let's call it first. Sorry, I mean import it first. I just copied from the website. Okay, now the way we use is that we go at the bottom of the file and write the component name, which is login form, and dot to prop types equals to, it's an object, so give the name of the receiving props. So we need to do for these three props, right? So handle change is function, this one is string, and pass is in string. So the handle on change, I want this to be capital. Let's see, change this both, this one and this one here. Okay, save it. So let's define the handle on change is prop type is function, and we say is required. That means it will, every time if we forget or if we give any other data type than function, it will give us warning here in our console. Okay, we'll get back to in a second this one. So let's do same thing with email. Email prop types, it's string, so type is string, and same thing with the password. Password is coming as pass, so there is the pass. So what we're doing is that before we receive the receiving the props here and we destructuring here, we want to make sure they are coming in the proper way so that it does not crash the application because of the different data type or missing or undefined. So let's save this one and let's work on that error what is showing before, saying that default value, otherwise, okay, saying warning props. The props handler is marked as required in login form, but value is undefined. See, that's what I was saying, the handle on change. Let's see, you know why it's saying that? Because we change it from capital C to, sorry, small letter to capital. Let's change all of this one, save that, so the error should go away now. Okay, yeah. So what are we up to? Okay, now see, every time we type, we have received the name and the input value from here, but we cannot see anything in this input field because we haven't put the value back in our input field. So again, we need to first output this variable in our email and password. Let's put, every time we input anything here, let's store in our state. So to do that, I'm going to use switch. So I'm using few extra steps. I'm going few extra steps so that you guys can learn more. Okay, so I'll write name. If we have a name case email, then what we like to do is we like to set email the value, because every time the name and value comes together. So when the name comes as email, set email the value whichever coming as a value here, break it, and let's do the default. You always need default one, otherwise it will get trouble. Okay, so let's copy this and do the same thing with password. So if the password coming, then I need to set the password. Yeah, not email, password. So what we're doing is here, every time we're doing input, every time we're changing here input, it will invoke this function, and every time you do the key press, you will receive the value and name of the input field, and we're checking if it is email, we're setting the value of the email in this variable, and same with the password. And then after that, we instantly sending back and giving as a value here, so that whatever we're typing here is showing here. There is an extension called a React component, you can, let me check, React Dev Tool. Yeah, use the React Dev Tool for Chrome. So this is the one I'm using. So this one, React Dev Tool, to see the state. It's guys, use this one. Is so easy for you to see the state and everything else. So I will show you what I mean. So every time let me do on the side. So here, let's see here. So see the state, we have a name, email, and things. Okay, what I want to do is here, every time I change, and if I'm in the right place, login form. So here, if I change to some email, you will see instant change here. Okay, some email. Some email, see whatever I type, it's updates here. So this is our on state, and then the value which is displaying here is coming from the state. So this is very helpful tools. I recommend you to use that too. Okay, now that's done, password is done. So let's handle the on submit. So now we can type our email and password. How about let's submit one. Let's create a function called submit in our entry page. Let's copy another one. No, I'm going to create the function. Okay, we don't need this console. Now let's create cons handle on submit and get the event as well. Okay, so I want to prevent the default behavior of the on submit. Like normally when you submit the form, it will refresh the page. Let's say it will always refresh the page. So I want that to stop. So to do that, simply do prevent default. Is a function. Now it will stop that happening. So from here, what we can do is that we can access the email and password from our state. Let's get check if because we are submitting the form now, if no email or no password, I want you to throw the error. Just I want to say alert for now. Fill up all the form, just like that for now. So if you try to submit it, let's say, and if you submit it, okay, I can't show you that because I marked both of them as a. For that, can I just do autocomplete off? I don't like showing like a filling up the emails and whatever. So I'll just do the autocomplete off. Autocomplete equals to off. And I just want to say, let me remove this require field for now. Go to entry page and say, let's pass this onHandle submit function to our form. So again, do the same way to pass the function. I'll give the same name as a function for the variable as well as to the props. So use this one to receive in our login form. So that's the props, receiving, this structuring here and receiving, and using this one on our form here. So what we do on submit, invoke this function and save it now. Let's see in our console if there is any error. Let's make sure we are receiving these props properly as well by taking the props type and save this, saying that field props type mark is required in login form but value is undefined. Okay, make sure this one we're receiving it properly. File we need to save, we provide here but we didn't save the file, that's why it didn't come. Okay, now let's save it. Okay, the error is gone. Now try to submit this one. It is saying fill up all the form, because we have like a kind of validation here on format submit, on handle on submit. So when we submitting form, I mean when we are logging it, we make sure we check first. If there is nothing, then of course we need to let customer know, client know. So okay, that's working. Let's put the requirement back. Required, want to put that back in both, so that client cannot submit without providing the email and password. Okay, you can do more validation here if you want to, like want to make sure the length or something, but just for now leave it. Okay, let's return from here so that the code doesn't execute further, and then if everything is good, submit the form. Let's say we'll submit the form here in the future to submit the form, right? Just leave it for now, and let's do the testing and login. There you go, our email and password. Okay, so even though we have dot here, this is just for UI, but the password is still on our site, which is this one here. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the login form. Okay, what I want to do quickly now is create the forgot password form here, and then whenever we click on forgot password, we can get that forgot password form. So let's do that quickly. So what we can do here, I can basically now copy the login form. So the login form, what is it? Okay, the login form I'm on to copy and paste. So what I did, I just select the login and copy and paste. I'm gonna rename it to password reset, and inside in the component I'll rename it to password reset dot comp for component. Okay, so this is password reset. So here we need email, remember, that's why I just copied everything. Just remove the password part, password input field, and change the name from a login form to reset password, and then we need to use same name in our props type check. So what we need, we don't need email here, we can remove this one because we only need to receive the password. We need on handle change and on handle on submit, we need it, so we don't need the, hang on, not password, that should be email, sorry, email, and the bottom one, it should be the email, not password, my bad. Okay, so that's, I think, pretty much it, because here now when you are in reset password, you want to tell them login now, just in case if they come here incidentally, and when they click here they can go back to the login form. So let's render this form and see how it looks. Let's go in entry page. I'm just gonna render below login form, copy paste, and change the file, change to reset password. And since we don't have that imported here, it's not gonna work, so we need to import that now. The import, go to the component, and inside the component password reset, and inside the password reset, password reset.com, and the name of the component is password reset password. So this is what we are using here. And we also need on handle change, we need on submit change, and we need to pass the email. So basically we're reusing the same function since we need email I mean, since the form has the same behavior. So if we save it, and let's check our file. Okay, this is looking so messy here because I just used in same page. So the top one is client login, bottom one should be reset password. So let's update that quickly. Go to reset password. Remember the heading here, h1, not client. So reset password. When you save it, it should be updated now here. Reset password. So it can be like this, right? Okay, in this case, what we have to do is that we will separate these two components, of course, which are already separated, and based on the link we are clicking on, we will just load whichever form we want to load to. Okay, let's do that quickly. So okay, here's our code. So we in entry page we have both of them here. So let's create one state here. So give a name to form load, for example, and set form load is the function going to update the value of this form load, and the initial value I'll put login. That means load the login form first. So now what we can do here, we can put the condition if form load, the variable we created, equals to login, then load this login form. Put it here. So, and same thing, if load form value got the reset, let's put reset, then load this reset form and close with the curly bracket and save the form. Now we will have only login form because our value here is login. If I do reset, save it, we will have a reset form loading. Oops, the form not loading properly. Why is not loading is just the wrong spelling. See, reset form. So let's by default give the login one, and we change it based on we click here. So when we click on forget password, we will go to the reset password form, or we will replace this form with the reset password form. So we create a function. Let's quickly create a function to do that for us. So const from switcher. I'll just write down full form switcher. So I'll get the let's get parameter, maybe type, let's call it, and here when we set this form to form, you know what, form type, let's do that, param short form in type. So that's this form will update the set form value based on whatever parameter receiving from here. So what we do, every time we click on this one, we change the value of this one. I mean, we call this function form switcher. Let's pass the form switcher to this login form. I want to pass, if the same props name is the function name, and we're going to go to the login form, and again make sure we do the props type check because this is the function. I just copy from there, and here we definitely destructure it because we can do it. And now let's on click event of the forget password here on the A element, on click event we invoke that function and pass the parameter to as this one is forget password. So that means we need to go to reset form, so we pass reset. So if we just do like this, it will create an error. I'll just show you. Okay, here let me save the file. It's creating error. Is marked as required in login form but sent undefined. Okay, first thing first, it's not coming properly. Let's copy this, make sure we spell it correctly. Login form. Oh, we didn't save the file here. save the file. That's the benefit using that props type. C is saying update a component entry while rendering a different component. So what it's saying is that we are, okay, so hang on, where is it? Where are we? Login form. Here we are just invoking function here only. So it's not going passing this value back to the entry page here to update the value from the form switcher. So we are just invoking form in here inline only. That's causing error. So what we can do, simply we make it function and then call the function and invoke that. So what it does is that on click, now the function will be called and invoke the function. So that way, when we now go here, it will receive the value and update the form. We can test now. So when we click this, see, we got the reset form, but we can't go back because we haven't logging in. Okay, let's update that. We haven't implement that function here. Let's do the same thing. Simply you can copy this form switcher to form reset as well, and we receive this props in the form. Let's go to the reset form component, and here let's receive that function, and let's do check the props type here. I'm going to copy the other function and then just change the switcher here. And now we have the form switcher, so we need to invoke this one on log in now a element. Okay, so on click, so we are not going to invoke the form here only. Okay, what we are doing is we are creating a function that will call the function to this function form switcher to invoke it. And here logging now, that means we're going to login form. Save that. Is that the login correct? Is login is this one we wanted to have login? Yes. So what happens is when we forgot password, when we click it, the value of our, let me quickly show you, value of our state is now default login, but when I click on forget password, it will change to reset and we get the reset form. So now if I click on login now, it will change to login here, the state, and it will render the login page. There you go. Now we got beautiful login and reset password functionality, I mean switching feature added here. So now let's see, let's change this login to reset password. Reset password, the button, password, and also let's on form it's okay, on handle, probably we give different function to submit, because when we submit it, I want to have a different function to submit this reset password form, not same as the login form here. So I'll say handle on reset submit. Okay, this is the new function. So I'm going to replace the handle on submit because that was created for login form. So we need to go back and update in our component calling and passing the props here. I'm gonna change both, and what we can do is create this function again on the top here. We can simply copy this and rename it. Rename this, and inside here we only need to check email, not the password. Right? Can even change the message to the email, and we'll provide the email. If everything is correct, it will print out the email. Let's quickly check and in our console. So where is the console? In our console, let's do this quickly. So whenever I type email and password and submit login, it will print out password and email. and go to, let's say I forgot the password, I need to reset the password, and then here I got the email. So this email is coming from here. If you don't have email here, you don't have email here. Put the email, and if I submit it, reset password, I get the reset password. That's done as well. So the rest of the thing from here, we will have to integrate our backend API and send this value to our backend API to do all the backend stuff in terms of login, do the login validation, and then return the JWT. And in terms of reset password, maybe send the reset password link or code to reset the password. That we will work on our API when we are working on our API section. So that is all for this one, guys. What I want to do is now basically let's push to our Git repo. I'm going to open another terminal here. I'll leave all the console and everything as it is for now. So if you see Git status, you see a lot of file changes here. And I'm going to do git add all, git commit m -m. So the message is app set up, and what we did, added login and reset password form. Okay, and I'm gonna do git push and hit enter. Oops. Okay, unable to access to git one host. Okay, because my internet. And simply do, and then git push to push the code to our GitHub repo. Okay, guys, there you go. The code has been pushed to our repo. Let's go to our repository and then confirm it. Where is our repo? This one. Let's make it bigger. And just, okay. Remember when we created the repository, this was the only thing showing. Now, if we just click here or refresh the page, there you go. You got all the files 1 minute ago. Yeah! Finally, one thing is done. Okay, so what we're going to do now is to Trello and mark this one is done. Mark is this one is done. So in the next, what we're going to do, I'm probably gonna do, let's at least put 3. 1, 2, 3. So I don't even know how much it's gonna take time. Okay, let's do all. So regardless of the time, we'll do all the UI now. So next, after this tutorial, we'll do add React router to route the page, Redux, and start working on the other stuff. So this is done today. So I'm not gonna put any due date, guys, today, but I promise I'll do within a week time. So maybe tomorrow or anytime soon. Okay, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to receive the notification of the next tutorial, smash that red subscribe button if you haven't yet. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.